Hey everyone, it's Laurie from Cook Scrap Craft, and I'm back with another installment of my Scrapbook and Cards Today Inspiration series. So this month, or this week, I'm taking inspiration from a technique that was under the product play section of the fall issue. So if you have that magazine, you probably saw this page. It's a technique using stencils and ink from Vicki Boutin, and it's all about negative and positive. So you pick a stencil, you add ink to the stencil, and then you mist it. You then flip the stencil onto a piece of cardstock. Don't lift it. And then you grab a second color of ink and use like a dauber to add that second color through the stencil. Then you can remove the stencil and let it dry, and you're going to have like an outline in the first color, and then the interior of the stencil will be in the second color. So I'm doing this two ways. This one I'm using a Simple Stories stencil, and I actually put ink on the entire thing. I would not recommend that because when I lift it up, you can see the straight line edges. And I didn't like the way that turned out, okay? So if you're going to do this, I would recommend just, inking maybe like a big circle in the middle of your stencil, or an oval size in the middle of the stencil, but don't extend it all the way to the outer edges of the stencil, okay? Other than that, this was pretty easy to do. The first cardstock that I used, which is regular white cardstock that I got at Michael's, I don't know the weight of it, but it's nothing special, and I didn't do any gessoing or anything on it. But you can see how I've got that dark pink, which is an Ingrid Bolm color. I don't remember what it was called. And then I've got a Hampton Art ink green that goes through on the other side. So some tips for this: make sure you have like some wipes handy so that you can easily wipe down your stencils, especially if you're going to do it a second time the way I did here. So I have the top part, or I did it once at the top of the page, and then I'm doing it again kind of at the bottom. But I'm trying to, the second time I obviously did not stencil, I did not cover the entire stencil with ink. I just did a little bit of it, so you can see there how it kind of like blotches because it's wet. You've misted it. It kind of blotches into the page, and then the stars kind of are coming out and around. So I like the way that it ended up looking on the bottom, and I will show you how I use that on a scrapbook page in a second. But first, I decided I was going to try it again, and I'm using a different stencil. I don't know who made this stencil. I've had it in my stash for several years. I think it's really pretty. They're like feathers. So I decided I was going to do a light pink and an orange, kind of fall-y. Thought maybe I would use this for some fall photos or something. And I'm just going to do a very similar making a mixed media background using this technique. I did a little bit of the pink. It's very light, so I knew I needed to get more on the stencil than I had with the first stencil that I used. And I'm also using Vicki Boutin Foundations paper for this one. And I feel like it maybe worked a little bit better on the Foundations paper. The Recollections cardstock was like a little grainy, and you could see like the fibers of the paper in it, which isn't a bad thing, but it's just something to kind of keep in mind before you do something like this, especially because it's not just ink that's involved, it's also water because you're misting the stencil. And so here I'm just trying to, I've done a little bit more of the pink in the center. I kind of like did a circle going around, and then I'm just trying to get not all of the leaves, not all of the feathers, but most of them covered in with that orange, because I really want those orange feathers to stand out along with pink. I really like the way that turned out. So, the first, I'm going to have some close-ups so you can see. The first way I did it, I was like, all right, that's a nice like practice run. Even if you make a mistake though, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't, because you're going to see as I do the scrapbook layout, when you add stuff to it, it kind of covers up anything that you might consider an imperfection. So I really don't think with any mixed media, really, and this technique as well, I really don't think there's anything that you could screw up, because you can always cover up a part that you don't like. Or maybe you're going to make a background and you're going to cut it to make like a card. So just cut the part that turned out really well for your card base if you're going to be doing some card making or whatnot. But I really don't do that much card making. And if I'm doing the mixed media stuff, I like to do it as backgrounds for my scrapbook layout. So this is how that one turned out. I haven't done a layout with that yet. This is a close-up of the kind of magenta and green, and that's the pink and the orange. Looks pretty cool. It's just like a different way to play with your stencils and your inks. So here's how I'm using that first one. I didn't like how the top part was so square-ish because I'd filled out the entire stencil. But when I have these photo strips, it doesn't really look that bad. You know, they're covering up part of it, and I think it still looks okay, even with those going on top of them. So here I'm just using some bits and pieces from the November Best of Both Worlds kit, as well as some very old things, some Pink Fresh Alpha phrases that says snapshot and it's purple, which I liked. I liked the color. The colors I'm going to keep on here are going to be a little purpley, pinky because of that color of the stamp that I used. And then I will come back in at the very end and do some green splatters because I wanted to play up more of the green stars. And I think this probably also does make a difference what kind of stencil you're using. The Vicki Boutin stencil, or the stencil that she used, they look like orange slices. So maybe there are like pros and cons to using a stencil with bigger, or I guess a stencil that's bigger as opposed to a stencil that's kind of small, like that star stencil. But, you know, experiment with it. Try it out for yourself. It's really easy. All you need is a stencil, 2 colors of inks, your favorite daubers, and a bottle of water to mist. You know, a spray bottle of water. Super easy. And I would recommend, like I said, have wipes handy. You're going to want those for the stencils, but also for your hands. It's kind of messy. And I did it on a glass, do I have a Creative Memories glass cutting board? Because it's really easy to wipe off when you get all that stuff on it. So those are some tips if you're going to use this technique. If you have done this technique before, let me know how it went for you in the comments. This is something totally different. I feel like usually when I'm doing inspiration from this magazine, it might be like a scrap lift or a sketch challenge. I think I did one time, I made like a quilted pattern technique because that was something that they were talking about that was really popular and trendy in scrapbooking. And so I thought, okay, let's give that a try. So rarely do I do techniques from the magazine, but I saw this. I was like, that looks so cool. I had to bookmark it. Originally, I was going to do like a 2-page layout and try to create my own pattern paper using this technique. And I thought, you know what, this is going to be too much to try to do like a 2-pager. I'm just going to do a single page with this mixed media background and just to show you guys how it works and the success or not that I had with it. So yeah, I will be doing another layout using the other one that I created. So if you are a subscriber to the channel, you're going to be notified of when that process video goes live. You won't miss out on it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider clicking subscribe so you don't miss out on more scrapbook process videos, haul videos, and lots of other fun goodies. I would love also to know if you have any questions or comments about the products that I'm using and the technique that I did. Definitely leave those in the comments below and I will respond to you. And if you are into doing mixed media, let me know what your favorite mixed media technique is. Maybe this is going to be your favorite mixed media technique. I actually usually love doing the package technique, and I feel like this is a little bit similar. The package technique is with misting sprays, the sprays, and so they're already very liquidy, and I love just kind of like pushing them into the white cardstock. But with this, it's kind of similar. It's just inks that you've wetted and you're still pushing it into the cardstock, but then just doing a little bit of something extra by adding by getting like the negative space in with that other color of stamps, the other color of ink. So I've got a few pieces from a Doodlebug. It's actually a Valentine's Day themed collection, and I'm trying to figure out how to make it work with some Simple Stories products and some Pink Fresh Studio products. I've even got some Amy Tangerine Brave and Bold that I'm going to be putting on here. These are photos that I took of myself while I was doing a TV segment back in, I think, September. And I had wanted to like film myself and then post something cool, time sped up on, Instagram or whatever. And I ended up not doing that, and I can't remember why, but instead I just set my camera to take selfies, but like gesture type selfies. So like anytime I smiled, it would take a photo. So I ended up with like a lot of photos of myself, but I really liked these ones because I thought I looked semi-normal, and they're all me showing the different products that I talked about on TV, and by products I mean toys, the hot toys for the holiday season. If you are still buying toys for your kids, it's probably too late because supply chain issues have been wreaking havoc on manufacturers getting their toys into retailers, and that's both in-store and online. So if you haven't purchased the hot toy that your kid really wants, be prepared for Christmas morning disappointment. This is the year that you really shouldn't wait for. You really shouldn't have waited for Black Friday sales and all of that sort of thing. So anyway, but maybe you'll be able to find something. You'll still be able to find something that your kid likes. We have the Gabby's Dollhouse on our holiday hot list. Crybaby's Magic Tier Storyland dolls, the Funkoverse Marvel game, it's pretty cool. The We Wear Cute So Glittery Hand Spa. I'm trying to think of what else we have. Oh, the Bluey camper van, the Peppa Pig family motorhome, lots of other really cool stuff. I'm just naming the things that I actually showed on this TV segment. So that's what's in the pictures here. And I got these photo strips printed at Persnickety Prints. And I really like the quality of these photo strips because they're very thick. It's like a matte. And they do a really good job printing. So I love the option of getting something that's a little bit different than a traditional 4x6. You can get a lot of different photo sizes there from Persnickety, and I'm telling you that just as a satisfied customer. I don't have an affiliate link with them. I'm not on their design team or anything. And same with Scrapbook and Cards Today. Like, I'm just a regular scrapbooker who reads the magazine just like you, and I just felt like I wanted to show you guys how it can be very inspiring, maybe a jumping off point, or to get some layouts done, or if you were kind of like, you looked through it and you haven't done anything with the magazine yet, maybe these videos could be a good way to get you to do something from the magazine and see how easy it is to create and be inspired by them. I have a whole Scrapbook and Cards Today Inspiration series playlist so that you can see everything that I've done in the series so far. And after I added those sequins, which was an old mix from Spiegel Mom Scraps, I'm just going to do a little bit of journaling up at the top. And I have other pictures from the TV segments that I've done. So I didn't do a lot of journaling. I just kind of added the date and the TV station that I was on. I'm going to do a separate layout with some of the larger 4x6 photos that I took, like selfies that I took. And I'll do more journaling about my TV appearances for this holiday season. And then the green that I'm using is a Tim Holtz color. I think it was like forest something. I'm trying to see if I can reach for it right now. Nope, I don't know. But it's a really nice color. There's still a little bit of splatters. Usually I like just shake it with my hand, but I've really been liking tapping the nozzle straw with something else, because I think that the splatters look a little bit more controlled and they're smaller. You don't get as many like big giant splotches. So yeah, that's a fun little technique or a little tip for you guys if you're doing some splattering on your layouts. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that this was inspiring to you. Come back again and watch another process video. I'll see you another time. Bye!